Good afternoon. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Vario Empire White Tuxedo Chronograph. This watch is available from vario.sg for €276. The watch you're looking at comes on the royal blue Italian leather strap, but however it's also available in several alternative colours if this isn't your personal taste. So the Empire Chronograph is a limited edition of 50 pieces. Firstly, let's look at the travel case that the watch comes in, and then I'll talk you through the other items one gets with a piece. So the watch comes in this hard shell Vario travel case with a zip around the edge. I'll show you the interior. So both halves of the travel case are hard shell. In the right hand portion we have a foam ring which protects the watch in shipping from any damage, and in the left hand portion we have an expandable pocket for accessories. I like this hard shell travel case because it's a credible alternative to using the default option of a plastic or cardboard watch box, and it's practical. They last for a long length of time and they do a good job of protecting the watch. With regards to the other items, this is the plastic warranty card that comes to the watch, and I'm pleased to report that the Empire Chronograph is covered by a 1-year international warranty, which is very reassuring. It's filled in with the date of purchase, and if you look closely you can see that this is number 17 of 50 pieces because it's a limited edition of 50 pieces production run. Now, if the royal blue Italian leather strap that comes on the watch isn't your personal taste, Vario also sell a plethora of other alternative straps, including this one, which is the midnight blue vegetable tan leather strap. We have two keepers, one's fixed and one slides as one would expect, and the buckle and tang is finished to a high standard with Vario's logo engraved, flawless mirror polishing, nice heavy gauge of metal to the stainless steel buckle and tang. On the underside we have flawless stitching, as you can see. Nice thick grained leather, and it's going to take some breaking in, but I'm confident it's going to become soft and supple with daily wear. One detail I like about it is the use of a stainless steel quick release spring bar, because that means one doesn't need a spring bar tool in order to change the strap. So I'll show you the other side. Plenty of holes in the vegetable tan strap, and I like the midnight blue tone to it, and also the midnight blue stitching which complements it. Flawless stitching around the edge, plenty of holes, and as you can see the underside has a nice smooth grained finish to it, and it's embossed with Vario. So although stiff, I think it's going to become a very comfortable strap and clearly durable. So lastly, one also gets this Vario branded microfiber polishing cloth. I always think it's a nice touch to get a branded microfiber polishing cloth, irrespective of the price point of a piece. So with regards to the specifications of the piece, this is the Vario Empire White Tuxedo Chronograph. The Empire Chronograph is available in several dial options. This is my personal favourite, which is the white tuxedo version, and it's on the royal blue Italian leather strap, as I've discussed, which has contrasting cream stitching. I think the blue tone of the royal blue Italian leather strap complements the white tuxedo dial, and one of my favourite aspects is the guilloche centre to the white tuxedo dial. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So the watch is 1920s Art Deco inspired with the design elements. With regards to the dimensions, we have a 38mm case diameter, we have a 45.5mm lug-to-lug measurement, a thickness of 11.2mm, and a lug width of 20mm. The leather strap tapers from 20mm at the lugs down to 16mm at the buckle and tang, and as you can see the buckle and tang is finished to a high standard, flawless mirror polishing, no sharp edges, no burrs. Two keepers on the strap, one's fixed, one slides, so I'll show you the underside of the strap. Flawless stitching on the underside, and we have the Vario brand logo embossed. Plenty of holes in the strap to fine tune the length, and again we have stainless steel quick release spring bar, so one doesn't need a spring bar tool to change the strap. I'll show you the other side to it. As you can see, it's embossed with genuine Italian leather. Now this one feels more soft and supple, and I actually prefer it. Beautiful grained finish, it's matte, and I like the contrasting cream stitching, but although it's a thick strap it feels very soft and supple, which is an indication that it's high grade Italian leather. This one isn't going to require any breaking in, it's immediately going to be very soft and supple and therefore comfortable to wear for long periods of time. So I really like the quality of this strap. The finishing to it is very good, and the grained finish to it is very aesthetically pleasing. With regards to the rest of the specification, we have a flat sapphire crystal with clear AR coating on the underside, and the clear anti-reflective coating does an outstanding job of reducing the glare and the highly reflective nature of the Art Deco font, silver applied Arabic numerals, and also the silver subdials and skeletonized Art Deco shape hands. The handset is mirror polished to a flawless standard, absolutely beautiful to look at, and as I've detailed, the guilloche centre to the dial is my favourite aspect. It really does capture the essence of 1920s Art Deco design. Absolutely beautiful dial, nice 3D effect to it, and I like the way the subdials are raised off the guilloche, and it just complements the Art Deco font of these silver applied Arabic numerals. Minute ticks are fully indexed around the chapter ring. Very well executed. The legibility of the handset, which is skeletonized, and also the Arabic numerals, they contrast very well with the matte black background. So clearly legible dial layouts, and it's just absolutely beautiful to look at. The anti-reflective coating is necessary and it does a good job. With regards to the head of the piece, we have a domed mirror polished bezel, which is absolutely flawless mirror polished. And then the flanks to the case have vertical brushed satin finishing, which is unusual. Usually brushed satin finishing on flanks is longitudinal, but this has vertical brushing, as you can see, which catches the light. I like the way the light is refracted and radiates off the vertical brushing. It gives the 316L grade stainless steel a beautiful luster. The holes in the lugs mean that it's easy to remove these spring bars. If you are fitting a strap without quick release spring bars, one can easily use a spring bar tool externally, so this is very practical, and I think the shape of the case really does capture the essence of 1920s Art Deco design. Nice angular profile, which also complements the radial curves of the domed bezel and also the tops of the lugs, which have a beautiful curve to them. So mirror polishing is very high grade, vertical brush satin finishing is also very high grade. I like the rectangle shape pushers, which make a refreshing change from the usual default option of using circle pushers. These have a nice block-like profile to them, so they feel very solid. They're a good tight fit to the case. Onion crown is solid 316L grade stainless steel, as you can see, and it's very well finished. So let's test the chronograph complication. The Empire chronograph is powered by the Seiko VK64 Mecha Quartz, which you'll all be familiar with. Pressing the top pusher will activate the chronograph hand. As you can see, it begins to sweep around the dial. And I like the solid feeling to it. The pusher has a good, firm, spring-loaded action to it. It's not a sloppy fit in the case, and also it takes a lot of pressure. So it feels solid. It feels like it's going to last for a good length of time. I like the firm resistance of the spring-loaded action. Pressing the top pusher again stops the chronograph hand. Pressing the lower pusher will cause the chronograph hand to fly back and reset to 12. Really firm resistance. I love the spring-loaded action to the rectangular pushers. So I'll just test it again to confirm the alignment is perfect. Nice, crisp, firm, spring-loaded action. Bang on 12 o'clock. This is something I really like about the Seiko VK64 Mecha Quartz. The alignment is always correct. Perfectly aligns at the 12 o'clock applied Arabic numerals and also the 60-minute tick on the chapter ring. So the alignment is correct. So let's test the push-pull crown execution. Onion crown, which provides an effective hermetic seal to 50 meters, which is perfectly acceptable for a daily wear chronograph piece. Pulling it out to the final click position is the time setting position. Silky smooth, no backplay whatsoever, clockwise and anti-clockwise. The VK64 Mecha Quartz is an absolute pleasure to set the time. The skeletonized hands, which are Art Deco style, really do complement the dial design. I think they're very well done. Pushing it back in restarts the movement. So silky smooth. Very good onion crown execution, no sharp edges, no burrs, and it's very tactile and grippy. The onion profile to it means that one can get good purchase with one's index finger and thumb. So the push-pull crown works very well. Now, with regards to the case back, it's very well executed. As you can see, around the circumference to the mirror polished solid stainless steel case back, we have the specification. Now, however, I have to bring to your attention there is an error on the case back. If you look closely, you can see that it says automatic. This is powered by a Seiko VK64 Mecha Quartz. It's not an automatic, and this was a mistake that Vario made. However, I'm pleased to report that Vario have acknowledged their mistake, and they are now in the process of changing the case backs from automatic to Mecha Quartz to correct the error. But having said that, the engraving is done to a very high standard, as you can see, and it has a beautiful Art Deco engraving to the centre section of a skyscraper, as you can see. So beautiful Art Deco styling to the engraving, and the specification, which is engraved around the circumference, is done to a very high standard. Beautiful mirror polish into it. It's a low profile case back, so therefore it's going to fit very snug to the wrist, very comfortable to wear for long periods of time, such as 8 to 12 hours per day. And I like the slots which are milled into it. The screw down stainless steel case back provides an effective hermetic seal to 50 metres, as do the pushers and also the onion crown. So very well finished. It's just a shame they made the mistake of engraving automatic rather than mecha quartz, but they are addressing that and they're going to be changing it in the production models. Right, so let's discuss the movement used, because it's one of my favourite aspects of the piece. This watch uses the Seiko VK64 mecha quartz, which is one of my personal favourites, as you'll know from my previous reviews. The stated battery life of the VK64 is 2 years, and that's based upon you using the chronograph complication for 60 minutes per day. However, in reality, you're not going to be using the chronograph complication for anything like 60 minutes per day, and therefore it's nothing unusual for a VK64 battery to last for 3 to 4 years. So potentially one could purchase this piece and use the watch daily for 3 to 4 years before needing to change the battery. The stated accuracy of the VK64 is plus or minus 20 seconds per month. So I want you to put that into perspective. That's plus or minus 20 seconds per month, not per day or not per week, per month. Better than plus or minus 1 second per day. So it's a reliable, well-proven workhorse mecha quartz movement, and it has incredible accuracy of better than plus or minus 1 second per day. Plus or minus 20 seconds per month really is outstanding, reliable, accurate, no negatives to the VK64 whatsoever. Right, so lastly I'll give you a wrist shot and then I'll summarise the piece. Now, minor criticism of the watch. As you can see, the royal blue Italian leather strap is just a fraction too short to fit my 8-inch wrist. But however, for the majority of collectors with a 6 to 7-inch wrist, this will be no problem whatsoever, and the strap will fit up to a 7-inch wrist and engage the end of the strap with the two keepers, no problem whatsoever. But having said that, the proportions of the royal blue Italian leather strap are very good. 20mm tapering down to 16 is the correct taper for a 38mm head of the piece. Good wrist presence, but it lacks heft, so it's an incredibly comfortable piece. On the leather strap, it's only 64 grams, so an incredibly lightweight piece. And that's one of the benefits of using the VK64. It's a low-profile movement, and therefore it can be housed in a low-profile case. This is only 11.2mm thick, so it's a very slender piece. It's easily going to slip underneath a shirt cuff if you wear business shirts, so therefore an ideal daily wear piece. The clear AR coating is working very well. As you can see, it reduces the glare and the reflective nature of the silver applied indices, the silver subdials and the skeletonized mirror polished hands. Beautiful. Relatively short lug-to-lug measurements of 45.5. Now I consider 48 to be the sweet spot. 45.5 is clearly made to fit collectors with a smaller wrist of 6 to 7 inches. I would say to you, if you have a 7 to 8 inch wrist, you may find that this doesn't have enough wrist presence at 38mm by 45.5. However, if you have a 6 to 7 inch wrist, this will fit you very well because there's a nice curved profile to the top of the lugs and a nice angular profile. It's a very snug fit to the wrist. It doesn't have a gap underneath the lugs. So it wraps around the wrist very well. Feels very lightweight, 64 grams means it's comfortable. Nice wrist presence at 38, and I really like the look of it. It does capture the essence of 1920s Art Deco design, and the guilloche dial is absolutely gorgeous, the way it refracts the light. So very nice dial execution, and I think they've made the correct decision by using a flat sapphire crystal rather than double domed, because it keeps it low profile at only 11.2. So lastly, I'll summarise the piece. What do I think of it overall? Well, when I'm considering reviewing a watch on my channel, the watch should meet two criteria. It should be both excellent quality and excellent value at the respective price points. €276 is the price point of the piece. The quality is good. Now, of course, there is the error of the case back automatic where it should have mecha quartz engraved. However, Vario are addressing this, so that's acceptable. So overall, I would describe the quality as good because the build quality, the finishing, and also the materials used are all good, including the strap, which is top grade royal blue Italian leather, very nicely executed. The value, I would say, is okay. It is acceptable at €276, but however, I think it could be improved. The correct price of this point really should be circa €200. I think €276 is pushing it because it's using a Seiko VK64 Mecha Quartz, and you're well aware of alternative watches, chronographs that are using the same VK64 at a lower price point. So to make this more competitive within the low tier, I think it needs to be circa €200 versus the €276 retail. So I would describe the value as okay. I can't say it's good or excellent at €276. The quality is good. The specification is strong. Sapphire crystal with AR coating. VK64 is reliable, well-proven workhorse Mecha Quartz. And I really like it. So I think the Art Deco styling and the guilloche dial adds interest to it. So it's an original piece. The design isn't an homage to anything else, and Vario deserve full credit for coming up with an original design. So I'm going to recommend it to you for your consideration. I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Vario Empire White Tuxedo Chronograph. Please feel free to post your own comments below the video. Thank you very much.